I'm going to talk in this video about yet another incident involving a large organization, yet another large organization, in which hacking, or if you would like to term it technical interference, or interception, becomes very evident, very obvious. And I have other videos like this on my YouTube channel. Some involving, there was one recently involving the police, York Regional Police, another one CIBC, that was a big one. Walmart MasterCard, that was really weird. Even YouTube. So there's a lot, and this kind of hacking, and I would say there's an online stalker. There's a lot more than an online stalker, but right now I have to pick my battles, and it's what I'm talking about here is hacking, but it's more than online hacking. It's hacking of everything, every piece of technology that I have. As long as it's digital, as long as there's a digital element to it. And I have hundreds of videos showing all of this very bizarre technological behavior, where it really seems like there's somebody on the other end screwing around with what I'm doing. Yeah, I have hundreds of videos that I like. If you look at my YouTube channel, that's just scratching the surface. There's so much more. I have so much archived evidence. And I also I write everything down in a diary. I have tape recordings. I have videos on my laptop when I'm able to get past the psychedelic purple wall that flashes when I try to enter my password. So I have some stuff there too. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So basically, this very negative experience with Bell, which is, like I said, very similar to the experiences with the other large organizations. And it's not just large organizations, it can be small organizations, it could be small government agencies, any kind of government. So this is all, I document everything in video, photos, and also I organize everything in a kind of story, narrative kind of way in my diary. So basically, I've been having a lot of trouble, like with so many other platforms, company platforms. I've been having a lot of trouble getting information I need, accessing information I need. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to get my Bell bill, the current Bell bill. But every time I go on there, I've been on there many times on my Bell, and everything seemed to have been working. I did have to reset my password recently. I had a lot of trouble, but I'm quite persistent, and I managed to reset the password. I don't know why they didn't accept the old one. I had the old one for a long time. But I did manage to reset the password successfully, and I distinctly remember there was a confirmation. I probably have it on a screenshot somewhere. There was a confirmation saying, you have successfully reset your password. So I wrote it down in my black book, and so I remember the last time I went to my Bell, I was able to use my new password. However, I'm getting the June bill, June of 2020. That is so old. This is all I can get is the June bill. So months ago. It doesn't do any good for me. And they stopped sending me the paper statements now. And so I'm having a lot of trouble, using things that, other people take for granted. Okay, like personal account, my Bell, that kind of thing. People use this stuff all the time. It goes really fast. But I'm not able to do it. And it's not because I'm stupid or computer illiterate. So anyway, I got a message from Bell. It said, log in to my Bell. Your bill is ready, and it's ready to view the new bill. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll try it again. So Password, they asked me for the password, as you can see here. I had to reset it recently, as I mentioned, um, but it finally worked. It did work. But then you see the login. This happens all the time. The login there, I had to tap that at least, I remember at least 3 times, and I was hitting it. I got to a point, 1, 2, 3, and then I was hitting it because again it's a dead link. It's like it just suddenly becomes a dead link. It just doesn't work. So then finally the login worked, and a page comes up. Once again, there you go, the old June bill, June 12th, 2020. Well, that doesn't do me any good, and I've already mentioned this to Bell, but they don't seem to be concerned about helping me to resolve this issue. And wait till you see what happens. So, okay, so that's the first page. Now I'm going to go, that's page 1. I'm going to go to page 2. Okay, so as you can see, there is I have several screenshots of the login being dead. On this page, I'm mentioning here that these critical links become dead, and they don't respond when I tap them. So in this one as well, when I reach the when what happens is I had to go to chat because it wasn't working. I kept getting the June 12th bill. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try chat. You can see the bottom questions. Click to chat now. So, okay, I'm just reading my stuff here. Click to chat now. Responding. I get this. Bell connected car connectivity. Plug-in connectivity. Okay, now, and then in another screenshot, it's not here, but in another screenshot, it shows contact us. Okay, so I kept pressing chat now, which also became dead. It became a dead link. I have 10 screenshots showing each time I tapped chat now here. Each time I tapped that, there was no response. So it became a dead link. That's definitely technical interference. Because if that happens to everybody all the time, that means nobody can get anything done. Okay, that means our world is not functioning at all. So I get this, Bell connected car connectivity, whatever, and then the contact us appears. As I mentioned, it's in another screenshot. Now that's very tricky. I know people say, well, that happens to me too. Well, but you know what? It's very tricky because I tapped it 10 times and I was waiting for some kind of just acknowledgement. Not necessarily, I don't expect the chat to happen right away, but some kind of acknowledgement. And I expect the chat now button to respond. But the thing about this is the contact us is very tricky because it appears there. And I was just about to click on it and then I realized it's very misleading. If I had pressed contact us for Bell Connectivity Car, I would have ended up talking to an agent about a sales agent, about connecting my car. And that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. That's not why I called in the first place. I've got a serious problem here. I can't access my bill. And I don't want to talk about Bell connected car connectivity. And that's what would have happened if I had pressed contact us. But I guess I'm very, very, I guess you could say streetwise on this stuff now. So I definitely, I knew that I shouldn't press contact us. So I kept pressing chat now. I said, like I already said, 10, 11, 12 times. And then finally, there was a response. I'm going to go to number 3. Okay, so basically what happens, I'm going to do this video about this negative experience with Bell and involving technical interception. I'm going to do it in increments. So it's a series of conversations that are very I guess 2 or 3 conversations that are very disrupted by I guess lapses, and I would say they are created lapses. They're not, they weren't normal. They're because of hacking, as I mentioned. Um, so this guy named Dumel comes on. Hold on a second. A little slow today, because there was a delay every time I typed something in. The Dremel or and then Joseph, they would respond. Um, it's like they would respond. It would take some time for them to respond, and then they respond to something that we were talking about like 3, 4 lines ago. So, and then I'd have to and then I'd have to retype it again. So, okay, a little slow today. That's why I said a little slow today. Okay, and then again, there's the pause. There's the lapse. We are sorry, but the agent was disconnected. Please wait for an agent to reconnect. We apologize for the unexpected delay. An agent should be with you soon. And then here Joseph comes on, and then I say, wow, I was able to make contact with someone. And I'm giving him the information he asked for. But that was, again, like I already started typing in what the problem was. And meanwhile, he's still talking to me about, what's your phone number? And so there was definitely a very significant delay in what I was inputting and the responses I was getting. And then there were these delays again. So then after I wrote that, then within seconds, are you still there? So another delay. And I have a lot of these showing these delays. Now back to just to get more specific on what I was saying about the delays. This is where, just having a mouse hacked. Okay, here it is. Okay, there was a significant delay between my input and the representative's responses. That resulted in a very confusing, redundant conversation in which I had to keep retyping the same thing over and over, and the representative still didn't address or help me to resolve the main issue. And it's actually worse than that. He actually, I think this was Joseph, actually said, you are not being hacked. How does he know I'm not being hacked? It's a very arrogant and stupid thing to say to someone that's being hacked. Usually, at least I'll get, oh yes, does this happen to everything or just this? I'll get some dummy response, but this is absolutely ridiculous. He says, no, you are not being hacked. I see what caused this. And then I said, what's wrong? Are you still there? And then sorry, just having issue. So again, like it's just I don't know where this guy comes from, but I thought that was very odd. And then this is the kind of thing, as you can see the typing there. Whenever I'm in a situation like this, and I start typing a little bit faster, what happens is I start getting letters in between. Doesn't quite show it. I have other examples of this. I start getting these letters in between the words. They just start appearing, but I'm not typing those letters. So a G will appear suddenly between two words, and I didn't type that. I never touched it. I am a very good typist. I was trained for years in junior high. I was trained. We actually had a typing course. I was trained, and I've always been a very good typist. And I type fast, and I'm not going to make major mistakes like that. Even if if I'm typing a bit faster, I noticed the same thing was happening with my laptop back with the Board of Education. This is another large organization in which I started to experience extreme hacking, and all kinds of bizarre things were happening when I was writing emails. So what would happen is, even more bizarre than this, there would be a hand pointing up to the garbage. It kept pointing up to the hand cursor. It's a symbol of a finger, an index finger, and it kept pointing every time I was writing an email to them. This is for the bullying of my children, which they refused to recognize in any way. In fact, every time I asked them to acknowledge it, things would actually get worse in the schoolyard. Things would just get worse, a lot worse, everywhere, in the classroom, in the schoolyard, everywhere. So that, I mean, that's just not nice. That's not nice. So when I was writing emails or perhaps a letter of complaint on the laptop, I noticed that all kinds of funny things started happening with the text. All kinds of things, but I don't want to reopen that right now because it's not the right place for that. But things like a line would disappear, or the cursor, I would end up all over. The cursor was going all over the place. I would end up typing at the top of the letter or at the bottom of the letter. As I said, lines would disappear, and then many times the keyboard just stopped responding. It just stopped responding. So when I was typing, it just stopped. Nothing was being written. It just stopped, completely stopped. I called Geek Squad many times. They were useless, completely useless. So that sums up the beginning of the beginning of the conversation and how, generally speaking, the conversation ensued. So I'm going to that was video 1. I'm going to continue with video 2 very soon.